Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market, where today we're talking about these lovely vines below and this lovely interloper here. So, what are these plants, you ask? Well, I covered their cousin last year. These are sweet potatoes, the ones that produce the tubers, and the specific variety is Covington, scientific name Ipomoea batatas. They are in the Convolvaceae family, which is the morning glory family. And the heart shaped leaves are the dead giveaway because they're not fancy colored, but they're everywhere. Which, I mean, that just means more tubers for me later. Am I right? Now, interestingly, the word ipomoea comes from ancient Greek. It it comes from the words for woodworm and resembling, or resembles a woodworm, because of the curling habit of the sweet potato tendrils to wrap around things, which you don't see very often in the field, but here in the gardens, there are certain spots where they're trying to grow up the building, which I think is personally cool because, I mean, at least now I know. But anyway, the word batatas comes from the Taino word for sweet potato, the same Taino people who were largely wiped out by the actions of Columbus and the conquistadors. Yeah, their echoes of their civilization and their people are all over agro stuff. And if you look, you will find plenty of it. Now, why is their name on this plant? Because sweet potatoes were originally native to Mexico, Central America, and the northern parts of South America. So, of course, that's why. Sweet potatoes are hardy in the ground from 9A to 11B, but are considered an annual in zones 8 through 5. They require a decent sized summer to produce, and I used to grow these in New Jersey, so that's about as far north as I know you can pull it off with. They prefer full sun but will tolerate partial shade. In this case, they're getting full sun in the morning and partial shade in the evening. Since they're in pots, it's hotter than it should be. You can actually see the big tree pot edge down here. By this time of the year, they usually do have little holes in them, and that's normal. That's some insect that's doing that, but it's not actually killing them. It just makes the leaves look less palatable for eating, and yes, you can eat the leaves. Now, the height of these plants is 6 to 10 inches. I'm sorry, the height is 6 to 10 feet if you were to grow them up in a trellis. The width, they can put out vines that go as far as 8 feet to 10 feet. So they can, and they're doing that actually. You can't see it, but they're working their way across my garden, and I'm not very upset about this. Now, I want to point out something very important to each and every one of you. Sweet potatoes are not yams. Yams are actually Discoria, and there's a couple different species. They're actually not related. So just keep that in mind. Yams are generally found in Africa. They have similar uses, but they're not the same. Sweet potatoes have been cultivated in the Americas for at least 5,000 years, so they're not an unknown quandary in terms of crops. In our climate, Zone AB, sweet potatoes will tolerate a wide range of soils, but require good drainage. They will only produce leaves if they're fertilized too heavily or too often. Which, I mean, if you're growing them for the leaves, no problems there. But generally, they produce some of the most giant tubers in the poorest soils, which is kind of impressive. Our sandy soil is a 0% impediment to these guys. Only water is the problem. They need some moisture. I mean, these guys out here are doing fantastic. They're one of the few things that are not wilting in this amazing July heat wave we're suffering. The largest sweet potato ever to date weighed 95 pounds and 3.8 ounces. It was grown by Ben Emir of Switzerland and is listed in the Guinness World Book of Records. 95 pounds. That is the size of an adolescent child. A youngster. They should have put googly eyes on it. I'm just saying. Anyway, the nutrition for a sweet potato, assuming 100 grams and raw, is 79 calories, 1.58 grams of protein, 17.3 grams of carbs, 6.06 grams of sugar, 4.44 grams of fiber, and it has 77.3 grams of water. I just want to point that out because that's kind of important. Most vegetables and fruits have a large amount of water in them, and in a survival situation, eating fruits and vegetables might stop dehydration. I wouldn't count on it, but at least it's better than nothing. Also, sweet potatoes are packed with vitamin C, B1 through B6, vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin K1. So they're very nutritious, and they can save you, since they have vitamin C in them, from scurvy, which is rare nowadays, but idiot diets are aplenty these days. And that's sweet potatoes for you. Now, sweet potatoes are real easy. You slip them out there, no pun intended, in about April, and just let them do their thing. All you got to do is keep them moist so they don't start, having negative growth. Leaves drying up, and by summer they look like that. This is 3 individual potato slips. They're escaping into the lawn. They're all the way back there. They're actually out aggressiving the Malabar spinach, which is kind of impressive. So, that is sweet potatoes for you, folks. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section. The blog is updating. And as always, folks, keep them growing. If you like this, hit like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. As always, folks, keep them growing.